Wow. Wow.
Isn't that fun?
Hey everybody, what's up? Don Carr here, and today I'm with Robert Keeley. Oh my gosh. My gosh.
Boom.
Robert, so good to see you, man.
Great seeing you
Always good
each
to
and
see
every
you.
time.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And today we have something very fun, very spectacular, very special. I think you've been working on this for a while, right?
Oh, just a few days.
Yeah.
I think I've clocked in 1,050 days.
Whoa,
Something
1,050 days on the,
kid you not
on
that
the
I've
brand new Octa Psi.
Octa Psi.
I
Yes.
love it, man. I love it.
No,
It
we
is-
put nearly 3 years into it. It's taken me to the edge. It's taken me down. We've had many false starts, false stops.
That's
everything.
great. That's great though, because that means you're like perfecting it.
Yeah.
You're getting it exactly the way you want it, which I think is amazing.
Because at this point in time, I think it's going to be my legacy. It's going to be what I'm known for. It was the compressor, and that's pretty vanilla.
Yeah.
But you know, in terms of effects. But
Yeah, utilitarian, right? Yeah.
But yeah, this thing is so crazy. This is definitely me, my personality.
Oh,
you know, I
nice.
can't wait to share diminished chords with you.
Nice. I know. All the fun, because it's like you've engineered some Easter eggs into this
Yeah.
thing that really make it even more fun. Because you look at it on the face. Okay, so what we've got on the face here is we've got a fuzz,
Yep,
right?
we got this fuzz. It's
Right.
an all transistor,
Yep.
very, very analog fuzz.
Yeah.
Right? And then I decided to marry it with an incredibly fun pitch shifter, octave generator. I wanted it to do everything, but the challenge was to get a very analog fuzz circuit that's bombastic, huge sounding, to work with a very nice, tidy, discrete digital system.
Right, and have everything integrate well, because one of the Easter eggs is that you can swap the order.
Exactly.
And so, man, just that alone has probably had a lot of engineering issues potentially.
That's where my team soars.
Yeah.
We have a couple
Yeah.
engineers. Creighton's the main engineer, and it's taken us years to get the switching quiet, to where it's totally fun to play the pedal. No quirks that are going to be unmusical.
Yeah, no distractions.
Exactly.
No distractions. And man, the switching, everything, and the way to get around on the pedal is even really good, really intuitive, well laid out, man.
Once you get the pedal in front of you, it becomes obvious, if I want to switch both the effects, I just stomp on both of the switches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Let me play a little bit.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay, yeah.
Just like a taste. Let's get a
Sure.
taste.
Let's get a
Maybe
taste.
start with the fuzz and then add the octave. How's that sound?
Exactly. Very thick fuzz. And this switch here is simply just the low end bass response. We played with the Moon fuzz pedal, and where we added some gigantic bass response to some of the pedals.
Yeah.
And so we dabble in a little bit of that there, because we wanted this to be as big sounding as you could possibly get. When you start adding 2 octaves down,
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want it to get like a big giant soup down there? It's like, maybe I do.
If you got 15-inch speakers,
Right.
we'll comply.
Right. That's great, man. Yeah. Well, which would also make it great for probably bass and baritone guitars and drop tune guitars, and that's a whole different world. And again, being able to carve on the low end so you can get more or less of it. That switch is really kind of like. That's brilliant, actually.
Yeah, it is fun.
But okay, so let's hear the octave side.
Okay, so if we're going to add 2 octaves at once, because this thing has 3 different modes.
Okay.
It has pitch shifting downwards, pitch shifting upwards, and then a dual mode where it does 2 voices or more at the same time. So we'll just go ahead and add an octave down. There we go.
Yeah.
Now we'll add octave down and octave up.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
One of the fun Easter eggs in there is when you double tap the blend control, you can kill your dry signal, so you can go all wet. So let's take off the fuzz for just a second.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go all wet now.
Okay. There you go. Okay.
Or just play a bass guitar line now.
Well, a good bass player wouldn't play that, but you know what I mean.
Yes. But you got the bass sounds in there.
We got the sound.
We got the sound in there. Isn't that fun?
That's great, man. That sounds really good. Track's great too. Really does.
That's good. I know it was important to get that because it is a polyphonic pitch shifter.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make sure that not only would harmonies come out decent sounding, but low stuff is kind of hard to get tracking right.
Right.
So we can add back in your dry signal then. Right?
Yeah.
The next kind of fun feature on here is if you wanted to do some dive bombs, right? I wanted to go just from pitch shifter. We were talking about Adrian Ballou earlier.
Right.
I was listening to some Jack White stuff that was pretty, and Black Keys type stuff where I heard him use that whammy.
Yeah.
So if you want to go into use the pitch shifter in a momentary mode, all you have to do is hold down the fuzz for 1 second.
Okay.
You'll see that go. And now let's listen to it. Now I'll just do it as it'll stay octave down as long as I'm holding it.
Cool, yeah.
Right? So now we do a dive bomb. Just play like a low G note.
Okay. Wow, that's great, man. And so that was like just a little switcheroo thing there.
All you have to do is hold down the fuzz control for 1 second. And it will go into momentary switching.
Wow.
And if you want to control the ramp speed, you just press the pitch shifting or octave button and then adjust that.
Yeah.
So we'll just kind of do a slow one.
Okay. Okay, so here, I'll hit a note.
Make it go up too. Let's make it go up 2 octaves.
Okay.
Isn't that fun?
That's great. And that's like having an expression pedal built in.
It really is.
Okay, so what happens in dual mode?
In dual mode, you're speaking my love language. So let me go ahead and show you my diminished chord.
Oh, here we go.
This is so fun.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Here, let's go for a faster ramp time. Check out this. Let's see.
All right.
Is that pretty fast or is that really slow?
Let's find out. I think you were really slow. That's great, though. Oh my gosh. Okay.
One more time.
Okay.
Isn't that great?
That's hilarious.
Sure enough, in that diminished chord, you can actually, there's a pan and tilt control, so you can actually isolate the different voices. So in that stacked fourth chord, there's certain things like a flat 7 that comes out. You can dial in just that, so you can have literally any harmony that you can imagine. It'll play for you.
Interesting.
Minor second, major second, minor third, major third.
Whoa.
Fourth.
Okay.
Yep,
Now, and that's like another kind of deep.
It's not too deep. Yeah. You just press down and hold on this, and it's just a pan and tilt control. So, like for example, if I wanted to show you the difference in the two, the upper and lower octave. Like let's say you didn't want a 50-50 blend. Right. So I'm gonna put this back on. Latching pitch shifter. Let's see if it's working. Right. Okay. But I wanted to have more of the low end and less of that high end octave.
Sure. Because right now it's balanced, right? Right now it's equul.
Yep.
Okay.
And so all I do is I push down on the blend control to adjust that blend.
Okay.
So then go ahead and play. It's the lower octave, right?
What? Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Wow. And then you find your blend and then you double click.
Yep.
Man, that's really slick.
So you can do that with any of those voices. So
Yeah.
it's full of fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it will actually remember all of those settings. So for example,
Oh,
if you're
okay.
on the setting where it plays, like we have a thing that automatically plays power chords for you.
Okay.
Right? So it's gonna have like an octave down and then a fifth up,
Yeah,
right? So it
yeah,
creates these huge
right,
sounding
right.
power chords.
Out of a single
Well,
note,
if you
yeah.
wanted the fifth to be a little bit quieter, that was like too
Yeah.
annoying or whatever,
Right.
you could definitely dial that out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it remembers it even when you power it off.
When you power down, when you
So
power
it-
back up, it comes back to your settings.
Exactly.
Oh,
So if
that's
you're on the fifth or the fourth in a
Right.
dual mode and you've got
Yeah.
a certain balance set up that
Yeah.
you like, or if you only wanted one of those voices to come out, you could just use that pan control.
Man,
So-
that's cool.
It really
That's-
boils down
that's
to
cool.
just a couple things to remember that are kind of like hidden
Yeah.
features. And,
Right.
and they're all
Right.
printed on the back, so the instructions are always just,
Oh, okay.
just
Yeah.
a pedal flip away.
Right, right.
The one last thing we haven't shown yet is the order of the octaves.
That was right where I was going.
All right.
That was
So,
right where I was going.
like, let's just play with octave, one octave down, and
Okay.
let's make sure it's all working. Yep. Okay. Now that's the sound of when we send these pedals out. It's going to be fuzz before octave.
Okay.
Now that usually makes most people wince for a second because they're
Yeah.
like, didn't the internet tell me that I should have octave before fuzz? And we found out that actually when you have a really good pitch shifter, instead of say a vintage Octavia style,
Right.
but if you have a really good
Right.
pitch shifter, it's actually best if you put the fuzz before it. But we knew people would want to try it both ways, and they'd find a way to be musical with each.
Yep.
Because one way sounds like Steve Vai, real nice and like computer game
Yep.
type, nice
Yep.
and tight.
Very pristine.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the other one sounds like Velcro and real scratchy and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was the thing that when I flipped it, I remember it's just the octave is crushing the fuzz on the front end,
Yeah.
and it's really cool.
yeah, yeah.
So-
So this way we've heard here, and
Right.
all you have to do to switch the order is just press on both of the stomp switches. And there we go. Now it's telling us that pitch is first.
Oh, great. And you just turn it back on.
Yep. Exactly. Now you have to play that exact thing.
Okay. Something like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Okay, now give it a try.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, man. Thanks. See, you know what though? That's interesting because just even like automatically my head went to like, oh, I need to play something that's a little tighter and a little cleaner and a little more like articulate.
Right.
With it the other way around, and the other way around was like, oh, slop city. I
Isn't it
kind of
fun?
get my hands sliding around there,
Yes,
yank
making
on
all
the
kinds of
string.
sounds and
Yeah,
noises.
Yeah,
I know. Because the fuzz has the tendency to EQ out certain frequencies, you lose a lot of the rawness of that pitch shifter.
Yeah, right. You lose that kind of
Yeah.
sheen, like sheen. That's the best word,
Yes.
man. You lose the sheen on the pitch
So,
shifter.
There are, like, I think we can set it up to do just fifths. Let's listen to
Okay.
see if it does
Yeah.
a fifth above here.
Okay.
Okay, then I'll switch the order.
Okay.
Okay, now it's telling me that pitch is first now.
Okay.
See, isn't it fun to have both?
It is. Yeah, it really is.
And you just stomp on both switches and it switches the order for you.
Yeah, and if wow, so it's that quick.
Yeah.
Man, and when something's that intuitive, like especially when you're creating, or if you're like, if you're somebody like me where you might be working for a client in the studio, you want something you can get to really quick. You don't want to have to think too much about it. And that's really intuitive.
I thought in the end people would really like this fuzz. It works so well with so many different guitars and pickups, and it's really kind of the sound I've been looking for to pair with something like that. But I figured people would sit there and they would have an octave down in general.
Yeah.
Or they might want to have the distinction of like the harmonizing with octave and octave down, or they might want to go all wet and do dive bombs and have some funny tricks. So I had to make it where it was real simple. So if you want to kill your dry signal, just double tap, and if you want to use it as a harmonizer, double tap again, and now it's a harmonizer.
Yeah.
And switching back and forth between the order was nice and simple with both those. The only other trick you have to remember is just press and hold the fuzz button to make it momentary again.
Okay.
I'll make it
all right, now maybe,
latching.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, faster would be
bend.
good.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, this is great.
Okay. I need to give you the foot control. So you ready to do it yourself now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and see, that's the other thing is you can just go ahead and hook an expression pedal up to it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Now we got the expression pedal plugged in.
Yes.
All right. So, and the interesting thing about that is. It's like it's off.
Yes.
Basically, it's like it's bypassed.
Actually, it technically is. We've got this thing set up so that it's reading the expression controller, and we actually have just a buffered straight bypass, and we only engage our digital circuit when that comes off of 0 ohms off there.
You're kidding.
So I really like that transition. We spent a lot of time trying to nail that with a variety of expression pedals too, because somebody could have a M Audio or a Moog or a Dunlop. I didn't even know which one this one was.
Right.
And it works
and
fine.
it doesn't matter, because it's like it works. Dude, now those are the kind of like when we talk about 3 years, that's the kind of crazy details chasing that down. Man.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, because for me,
it had to work with everyone.
Right, and for me, from a player standpoint, it was just transparent. I plugged it in, I used the expression pedal, and it's like, oh, works great.
Yes.
And that's what you want.
Yep.
So much fun.
So much fun.
Oh,
you put a delay on
gosh.
it and it's a riot.
Yeah.
I had so much fun designing this pedal with my team and working out all those kinks. And wouldn't it be fun if we could do this? And wouldn't it be fun if there was crazy chords that would come out? Then you call Don up. He's like, if it doesn't do a flat 5, I'm not going to buy it.
I'm not in. I'm not. Dang it! I'll get back to the drawing board.
We got to do flat 5s now.
Oh man. No, Robert, you guys knocked it out of the park.
Thank you.
That is so killer. And I mean, immediately, the first time I plugged it in, I went, wow, the fuzz pairs so well with the octave. I mean, that was really like the first thing I noticed, because a lot of times, as you were talking about earlier, I mean, a fuzz can kind of get lost in that.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Very easily.
The mid-range character of it is everything.
Yeah, and the attack is everything too, man. It really is.
I know. So, yeah, there was plenty of times where it felt like it was lost. Matter of fact, I spent, several months of this year in despair, because I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to go with my, very raw, brutal, all transistor design, and I'm going to have to go with like an op amp design, something like that.
Yeah.
Because it was so hard getting it to work with the digital circuits.
Yeah.
Noise-free switching. You have to be able to slide in and out of stuff effortlessly, and no clicks.
Right, and no pops and no breaks and none of that
Even
stuff,
when you're switching order, you can't have it.
Yeah, right. You can't have a bunch of racket going on, man. Oh, wow.
So, Yep,
Wow.
we put everything we could into it. We put it on the analyzers, analyzed it to death, and this is what we got.
Man, and you nailed it, dude. Seriously, that is beautiful. Man, thank you, Robert.
I appreciate
really,
it.
man.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you so much,
You're
man.
welcome.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey, thanks everybody for watching. If you have any questions about the Octa Psi from Keeley or any of Robert's other amazing pedals, please go to sweetwater.com or call your Sweetwater sales engineer. Thanks.